Going out there, K County Accountability. All right, guys, coming at you today. I know it's been a while since I've been on here. Guys, today went out with Oklahoma Community Watch for an AIM protest in Redrock, Oklahoma, of a teacher that has sexually molested a child there. Like guys, like you'll see Oklahoma Community Watch, he makes a speech up there. And like he says, me and him went and talked to the Otoe, Missouri police. We went and talked to the Noble County Sheriff, which Red Rock, Oklahoma is in Noble County, and asked questions like, is this man going to be charged, blah, blah, blah. It's still under investigation. Guys, really the law enforcement, they've given all the information they can. Now it's on the DA, which poor Noble County has the exact same district attorney that K County does. The shit stain on K County and Noble County is Brian Hermanson and his crew. They fucking suck. We know this. We all know this. So, it's protest to make sure the DA does his fucking job, which, very unlikely with Brian Hermanson. He fucking sucks. So guys, there was great speeches that were made. Nothing amazing happened. It was awesome that, the people that showed up and the community and everything that were come together for these children to protect these kids and stuff like that. There's been several things that's happened in Red Rock. Last year, a teacher cut a damn child's hair, in a Native American's hair. Okay, that is fucking way, out of line. Like that, they hold that sacred. Native Americans hold their hair very sacred. And the fucking teacher cut this kid's hair. Bullshit. And then also, last year, which, you don't see anything else on it, but there was city commissioners in Red Rock that were charged with embezzling nearly $300,000 or a little over $300,000. So, but for some reason, nothing has changed because they have a shit DA, which is Brian Hermanson, and he fucking sucks at his job. So guys, watch the video, take in what the speeches that are given, really good speeches. You guys take care out there. Always film the police. Be safe.
Every service that here today. Thank you all for coming, and thank you for caring enough to stand up for our most vulnerable.
Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Brian. I'm a co-founder of Rural Oklahoma Pride. It's sad that we gather on another school grounds expecting justice for a child. It's unacceptable. I don't ask the police, I don't ask the DA, I don't ask the Department of Education, I don't ask our governor to do something. I demand that they do something. It is no longer acceptable for them to stand by and accept that this is just how Oklahoma is. It's infuriating. We keep saying we're cold, but what that man did was even more cold. It was cold-hearted. It was cruel to a child. Not only just a child, but a child that could not speak for themselves. That's why we're all here today. We're going to speak for that child, and we're going to demand justice. It frustrates me. Why do we have to continue demanding justice? Why do we have to accept that children are being abused? Why do we have to accept that children are being harmed, murdered? I don't think it's acceptable. This is why Oklahoma is 50th in the nation for education. Because schools like this one behind us allow this to continue to go on. Why aren't we getting teachers under control? This man shouldn't have been allowed to resign. He should have been fired. He should be in prison. I'm even more cruel, and I'm going to say it. This man should have been abused like the child he abused. I'm furious, angry, disheartened. I don't have a great word for this. I can only tell you that if we continue to allow this to happen in our homes, where we're from, then we need to hold these enforcement agencies and our governors and our political affiliates accountable to what they're doing. It's no longer acceptable to get in office and sit on your butt and do nothing. We hired you. In Rural Oklahoma Pride, we say we hired you, we'll fire you. And it's time that they get out of office if they're not going to do what they're expected to do. Thank you, guys.
Dahe. My name is Alex DeRoyne. I am currently a sitting council member for Tulsa Two-Spirit, and I also work for the Osage Nations Counseling Center. And, I have a lot of experience with the shame that seems to happen whenever we as Indian people go through these kind of situations. I see the damages that happen whenever these kids take that shame with them and hold on to it. These teachers, they have these narratives in their mind that comes from this homogeny of this United States, this foreign government we call the United States. And as sovereign people, as sovereign children, as sovereign citizens, this having pride in ourselves is an act of our sovereignty. Growing up with that luxury of being able to say that we can be proud of who we are as Indian people, proud of being Oto, proud of being Jiwed Nitachi, proud of being Wajaji, or whatever Indian tribe that you come from, that's something that we don't get to have 9 times out of 10 when we grow up in these kind of schools here behind us. Because when we have to endure this kind of things, when we have to endure this kind of shame that was placed on us by foreign governments, it's a type of depression that we got to go through that ends up creating more and more addicts. We use these substances, we use these things to cope with this reality, this reality of dealing with this apocalypse that we've gone through as Indian people. We've lost our ways, we've lost our culture, we've lost our language, and we've become shamed for having those things still. These teachers, they try to stop us from having those things. And, that's something that I feel like is especially important for these kids to have, is freedom and safety. And identity-safe spaces. The school, they posted on Facebook that they're dedicated to creating safe spaces for Indian children, yet their definition of safety is silencing the situation and not holding accountability. But without accountability, then nothing ever changes. No one ever actually gets, the justice doesn't actually be held, and without justice, nothing happens. Without justice, these kids just get told that these things are normal, and they have to live with that. They turn into adults, the adults that eventually these police have to handle, and these police would rather stigmatize with that addiction rather than getting to the source of the problem, which is that we are dealing with teachers who would rather teach shame than teach pride. They would rather teach shame than give these kids that type of, that pride of them being themselves, that pride of being Oto. And that's something that we need to, that we're here for today. We're here as a community, like what our elders just said here earlier. We're all here as a village to show this kid that this isn't okay. They deserve to have that pride. I'm carrying this pride flag behind me. As a Two-Spirit person, this is something we have to deal with all the time. Walking around with that shame of this colonizer's assumption on binary. And last year when that boy had his hair cut off, had his braids cut off, or his hair being too long, that's something that hurt me even. It hurt me as an adult, as a Two-Spirit person, because I remember what that was like, growing up with parents who were too scared to grow their hair out. And I was wanting to, and I couldn't do that because of these exact same things here. So, that's something that we need to keep in mind here. And I challenge these police to keep in mind too. I've already heard that we need these people pressed to have charges pressed. And the only thing that you're saving at this point is saving your job to police brown people. At the end of the day, this little child, if they can't learn to accept themselves and have that.
This gentleman has definitely got a hell of a speech.
You'll be having to deal with them one day, and that's what we're trying to do here: stop that future. To be able to have this child be able to be a productive citizen in their tribe, and to do that, we need to have identity-safe spaces. So that's all I wanted to come up here and say. I'm young, I'm ignorant, I don't know much. I'm not trying to come up here and be nobody. But I am Oto too. I come from a Deloitte family. And when I came to this place, I was thinking about how us Oto people, we're doing a lot to try to get recognition in this country. We just came back from the birthday, with an art exhibition, talking about how we walk in our ancestors' footsteps. And I find it ironic that we can do these kind of things and be recognized in our homelands, but yet here in Redrock, we're still dealing with we're still walking in our ancestors' shame of having these boarding schools, resentments still affect our bodies, affect our children, and affect our minds. And I think it speaks everything that it needs to. The fact that this school is called Frontier. The founder called this place, Redrock here, the final frontier of Oklahoma, as if we're something that still needs to be conquered. something that still needs to be claimed, something that still needs to be educated. Like we're still Indian, like they need to kill that Indian and still save the man around here. And that's something else too that I think we need to also recognize is the name of this school also needs to change. This is not a frontier. This is Oto land, and we are sophisticated people that deserve respect, not something that deserves shame. Thank you.
Good speech. It was good. Come on, Chewy.
Long hair braid. Hey, Inch J, Stone Go. Hey everybody, my name's Chewy. The situation here, like they said, that teacher should have been prosecuted, and they're still investigating though. We gotta sit back and relax. Before we act, go into actions, we gotta make sure that everything, information that we're getting is truthful before we put ourselves out there. Hello? I guess they don't want to hear me talk.
Trying to connect with my phone. No, they'll connect with mine. That's all that's set up.
Okay. All right. We got to make sure that the information that we get prior to putting ourselves on the line, to make sure that information is truthful. I'm sure a lot of times we get calls that something happened, and when we check it out, it didn't really happen. Eventually, apparently this did happen. Law enforcement are still doing their investigation. I know we want to get the answers right away, but it takes time. We got to learn to have patience. Like I said, they're running on Indian time apparently. But let's give them the time to do their investigation. And if they don't give you guys the information, if you guys need to get public records, feel free to reach out to me. I'm out here. I'm out of Blackwell. I love doing public records requests. I'm also love filming law enforcement. So, if you guys got any problems or any things like that, get a hold of me. I'm always here. Now, we do work, and we do always have issues that we can't make it all the time, but we do what we can with what we got. But anytime you guys need any information or need public records or want to get public records, don't know how to do it, need help, feel free to contact me. I'm here for our people. Like I said, this is Indian land. They're trespassing. So let's make sure that we get things straight and take care of our children. Our children are the most important. They're our future. And if we don't educate our children the proper way now, I don't know what we're going to expect in the future for our kids. But let's make sure that our kids know their rights. All right, and then one thing also on a different subject, make sure your kids learn the Constitution, because those constitutions were forced upon us. So let's make them go by them. I guarantee you half the time, one of the things I do is I question law enforcement on the Constitution. And unfortunately, a good 98% of the time, they can't answer the questions. Okay, and that's pretty sad. So let's teach our kids the Constitution and make sure that they know their rights that they have, with law enforcement and questioning and all that. To make sure that they don't give false information to teachers or anybody else. All right, well, thank you for your time. God bless. Peace. Peace, love, and always film the police. That's for you guys. I'm not anti-cop. I just think cops need to be held accountable. Oklahoma Community Watch on YouTube.
But there's not a whole lot more to say other than we are her village and we are her voice. And we need to stand strong, not just for this baby, but for every baby after her, every baby before her. We all know it doesn't start here and it doesn't end here. There's children all across the state, and we are Oklahoma. And we will stand for these children anywhere. We're all mothers, grandmothers, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters. This little one here, she's one of my best friends. they better help. They better hope they have help if anything ever happens to her. But thankfully, her mom decided to homeschool, so she's safe. And that's sad when you have to think about safety when you send your child to school. But I want to thank you all for coming. We appreciate each and every one of you. Keep sharing. Keep sending your voices out. Let them know we will not stand for this. In the words of my nephew, we demand accountability. We demand justice. Because we are human beings and we deserve respect. Not to be looked over. Not to be treated as yesterday's trash. Because we are not. We are proud. And we need to teach our children to be that proud too.
I just want to say thank you again to everybody that's here.
Really good speech.
And if you all want to follow us, and we are going to be planning something else, so reach out to me, Charlena or Pam. And again, thank you. That's all I got.
YouTube. Gotta love it. Look at commercials.
Another control.
You good, man? You need any help with that? Okay. Making sure, man. You okay?
That song, incidentally, went on to become the national anthem of the American Indian movement.